It's election day.
Again.
Again, indeed. Well, welcome to Pollstream. I'm Victor Matthias.
And I'm Mayawa Ugundele. Right here on Pollstream is where we focus on the election social media trends.
Indeed.
Be a part of the conversation by sending your reaction messages and videos to us via the handles showing on your screen at this time.
Well, those handles are Channels TV, at Olua Mayawa, as well as at Victor_MBIDI. And don't also forget to include your name and location, and please use the hashtags Pollstream the verdict as well as 2019 elections.
Now let's begin with what is trending this morning. Victor, a number of trends.
Well,
the usual.
Quite a couple of them are.
The usual, actually. Yeah. We have election, not war.
Vote, not fight.
We have
indeed, elections 2019.
And of course, Nigeria decides 2019 is back. In the trends on social media. A number of these trends, I mean, it's just typical that these will trend.
Indeed.
People are, sending out reactions. The frenzy is back, the buzz is back, and people want to get heard.
But the thing is, River State keeps coming up.
Exactly, especially for election, not war, vote, not fight trends. Yeah. We see River State is popping up a lot on social media this morning. We have screen grabs for you from Twitter. Apparently, some people are praying that let it be peaceful and non-violent because they did experience some violence the last time. And
elections.
Another thing is the heavy presence of security agencies, is making people somewhat afraid. A lot of people are saying, what is going on here? This is not Sambisa.
But that's the thing. Just yesterday, people were talking about how we should have...
They wanted to see more armed men.
Security operatives at polling booths and polling units. I mean, but then again, here we are, people are complaining about the presence of security. So what exactly do we want? What exactly should we be doing?
I don't have the answers.
Well, you don't. But while we think about those answers, let's also take a look at some of the tweets that we have. The first one is coming from at Royalty USO. Well, he says, time flies. But a precedent, especially bad ones, often gets worse if condoned. I pray for Nigeria. Only the discerning will understand this. Election, not war.
And we have Oli Vivian Adalbi, who tweets at Oli Adeviv, who said, I don't know for others, but if I get to a polling unit and discover a high presence of military men there, I will just leave the election for them. I can't come and kill myself. It's hashtag election, not war. Oh, we have another tweet.
Well, the next one is from Akwa Ibom to Rivers. Well, it's actually coming from Gbemi Dennis, and he or she says from Akwa Ibom to Rivers, Lagos, Ogun, Kano, Oyo, Kwara, Kaduna, Sokoto, Abia, and across Nigeria, let there be peace. Whoever is concerned should allow the will of God and that of the people to prevail. Again, hashtag Nigeria decides, elections 2019, as well as vote, not fight, and election, not war.
Keep those tweets coming. Just make sure you use the hashtags, the verdict, and Pollstream. Thank you very much.
Of course. So, well, let's get to the field and see what is going on in various parts of the country. So to speak, your PVC is your badge on a day so special like this. They're out pretty much bright and early, standing on the queue, waiting for their opportunity, for their chance to cast their ballot to choose who will lead them for the next 4 years.
Interesting. So many of them. And they're all pretty excited. It's an exciting thing to be a part of this election process.
To have power in your hands.
To choose who leads you.
Yeah.
Really exciting. We also have another one. This one is from Lagos. I believe this one is from Magodo, actually.
Magodo phase 1.
And it's sort of like a contrast to what we just saw.
From the northern part of the country.
Exactly. It's quite empty.
No. I mean, just some minutes ago, Sean was giving us an update, on what is going on. I know he was also, talking about how, the electoral officials are not there. I mean, in the same polling unit, it's the same thing. A caller also just called and also talked about how that is not, well, that's actually what's going on in other places.
We hope that it improves.
Indeed.
Soon.
Hopefully.
Soon. Now, the question is, who are the people who we just saw? Who are they going to vote for what will motivate them to vote for these people? What should electors be watching out for as they queue to cast their ballot? Now, we have someone?
Yeah, we have someone who will, just help us or help you make that decision. And of course, it is on a lighter note.
Am I corrupt? I took the lie? Is it my fault? Am I to blame? Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't have a conscience, I know the shame. I hear all your noise, you too complain. I just paid your neighbor, you are all the same. Boom, bada, boom, big daddy on the tune. No time to waste, got a lot on my plate. You call me corrupt, but you sold your vote. Yes, you sold your vote. People like you, they work for me. A little bit of money, they tweet for me. Slay mamas, they twerk for me. Political fools, they fight for me. Royal papas, they roll for me. Even students, they stood for me. Popo de popo, salute for me. I get oil workers, they rig for me. Anti-graft, they look for me. Live story, then go hear from me. Shebi, I paid you to campaign for me. I get your button, move for me. When I was spending, did you ask from me? Wait, chief, how you make your dough? Not be spend with they spend, they go. I can't see if you want rig for me. Bigo, back well, you don't sell your vote. One ne irrela vote gi. Kabani anya, you sold your vote.
Well, that goes to show that do not sell your vote today.
Yeah.
And anytime.
Indeed.
Well, over 1,000 candidates are vying for 29 state governorship seats and over 14,000 candidates vying to occupy 991 state assembly seats.
Quite a number. Like, the contest is tight.
It is.
Well, though there is an improvement, that's a thing, in the number of youths, from the previous elections. But, joining us to look at the challenges as well as opportunities for young people is the program manager of YAGA, Ibrahim Farouk, who joins us from our Abuja studio.
Hello, Ibrahim.
Hello, Maiwa.
Awesome. Now, we also have an advocate for youth inclusion in politics, Mariam Laushi, who joins us via Skype, also from Abuja.
Hello, Mariam.
Hi, how are you doing?
We're good. We're doing good.
All right, very quickly, Mariam, your take, just looking at the amount of young people, the number of young people, or the lack of the number of high numbers in young people who are vying for these positions we just reeled out. What's your take?
I think personally, for me, it's a huge improvement from the last elections, at least. It still shows that we have a long way to go, because if we have such a large percentage of young people in Nigeria, about 60 to 70% of the population being young, then I think that should be reflected in representation in politics as well as even in the candidacy. So we're hoping for larger numbers next time around, and we understand that there are barriers at the moment that are holding young people back from really vying for those offices that they want to go for.
All right, let me bring in Ibrahim from Abuja studio. Ibrahim Farouk, YAGA just released a report, which highlighted the strengths, as well as the weaknesses and also the opportunities that young people have in the political setup of Nigeria. Can you perhaps maybe shed more light on that?
Sure. Thank you very much, Victor. So what we did as part of a follow-up on Not Too Young to Run was to conduct the study to look at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats that young people would face in the elections, and not just the elections that are holding today, also in the National Assembly elections that held, because we had quite a number of young people who actually contested. And we can see that young people, one of the opportunities, for instance, that young people decided to leverage on was social media. and we noticed that a lot of young candidates use Facebook to campaign and other forms of social media. And so there are opportunities for young people. And I'm glad that you pointed out some of the figures, because especially with the State House of Assembly elections, we have over 5,900 young people who are running for State House of Assembly elections, which represents about 41% of the total number of candidates that we have running for State House of Assembly elections. They are direct beneficiaries as well of the Not Too Young to Run law, which reduced the age for contesting for State House of Assembly from 30 to 25. So while we might notice that we do not have so many young people running for governorship elections, like Mayowa stated, we have many more running for State House of Assembly elections. And yes, there are opportunities for them to win. We're confident that as INEC starts to release the results from the State House of Assembly elections, would see that a lot more young people in elective offices at the state level.
All right, let me bring Mariam back again. Mariam, I mean, talking about improving the numbers, what should be the next step? At least now we have the Not Too Young to Run bill or act now, which of course is in place. Moving forward, how do we improve these numbers?
Well, I think just even based on the report that Yaga released about the SWOT analysis for young candidates, I think it's really important that young candidates are able to find strong political structures that can support their candidacy, and also that political parties are willing to bring in young people from an early age and begin to develop them and have them run in these from these young ages and not just wait for much later. I think it's important that also young people understand the politics of the issue itself and actually be political in terms of their strategies and also raise money. I think those are the things that really matter for young people to get more involved. We definitely need more training on leadership and all of that so that people can learn about the tricks. I think politics is not that straightforward. So we also need to encourage people within the society to understand that young people have a lot to offer. And I think these will begin to open the ways for young people going towards the next elections.
Very quickly, I like that you mentioned that, you know, we need to raise like a new generation of young people who will be interested in politics. And yesterday, we did celebrate the International Women's Day, and we had a guest here, Professor Motesha, who did talk about, you know, having more women in the political space. I beg your pardon. And she said something interesting. She said, women shouldn't play politics like men. You know, bring your femininity, bring your emotions, bring all of that, and, you know, use it to your own advantage. Now, you're a female, and you're experienced in the political space to a certain degree. Can you share very quickly what your experience is and how, you know, females can also be a part of this new generation we're trying to groom?
I think just even from the Not Too Young to Run movement, we've seen so many young women begin to show interest. I think it's a matter of representation. Whether a woman is feminine or if she has strong, traditionally or stereotypically masculine qualities, I think either way, what matters is the leadership quality and understanding how to get into the space. A lot of barriers exist for women, which I believe can be cultural, which can be religious, and there's just a lot, even from the representation we can see right now, it's pretty low. And so we need to find ways as well for women to be able to participate fully in this space, and women definitely need representation within parliament and other levels of government.
All right, thank you, Mariam. But Ibrahim, quickly, just before we wrap this segment, talking about those threats, how do we take them out?
Well, so we also have some recommendations in the report that we made to look at them. One of the major threats, and it's a discussion we've been having, is electoral violence, vote buying as well, and intimidation and state-sponsored suppression. I think when we have the conversation post-election about reforming the process, it's very important to come up with solutions and ways that we can ensure that some of these threats are eliminated or at least minimized to the barest minimum, because while we want to work on the strengths that we have and the opportunities that are available for young people, we also know that there are weaknesses and there are threats that would continue to pose a challenge to young people. We've started to make some progress. We've seen young people who have done amazing despite many of the threats that they are being faced with as they are running for office. But post-2019, as we take a critical look at the elections and some of the threats that young people faced, we would continue to make recommendations on how to improve the process and ensure that there's more inclusion for young people as well.
Well, we can't wait to see all of that happen, but we'll have to say thank you for joining us on the program today. Ibrahim Farouk, Program Manager at YAGA, as well as Mariam Loshi, an advocate for youth inclusion in politics. Thank you as well for joining us on the program. Well, that's Ballstream. In the meantime, we'll take a quick break. I'll be back in a moment. Please stay with us.